Straight off the bat, I think Madrid should have had 4 or 5 goals this match. I went through Twitter, I went through everything, and they hate that Madrid were getting because of this match is it's unbelievable. For me, Real Madrid were the better team. For me, they were playing great ball. I think because of what you're not used to. Obviously, Madrid last season were nowhere near the level where they should have been. But for me, this match, I feel like Madrid looked like a complete different team from last year. Um, Key players, I think Rodrygo was 100% the best player in that team. Second, Brahim Diaz. I said it. I said Brahim Diaz is the type of player that can just change an impact of the game. That's what he did here. Usually, for me, he doesn't do that as a starter. But this match, he was, I think, Madrid's second, third best player this match. I think he creates chances out of nowhere. I think Brahim Diaz is such an underrated key player in this Real Madrid team. And tonight, I feel like he really showed it. For me, I think he was just excellent. Him and Arda Güler, they both, the great touches, great movement, creating plays out of nowhere. They're just excellent from both of them. Um, Another player, Raul Sancio. He was such a key, he was probably the main reason why uh, Juve didn't score any goals. He was 100% in the best back line. Him and Aval Carreras, another player of Aval Carreras, and then Fede Valverde. For me, those are the key players. Mbappe, Vini, sure, I feel like they all played great. But the key players that from the first minute to 90th minute, or how long they played, those six that I just listed was, for me, the key ones from there. Here, I don't like the score. 1-0. Madrid 100%. Brahim could have had what, two? Mbappe could have had two. Um, I wish Vinny scored that. It was just an amazing getting through all those like 4 or 5 defenders, hitting the post. But and then Bellingham able. That's what in Madrid. If Bellingham didn't play this match, it would be a 0-0 score. Because and Bellingham was another key player that I think we always had was such an impactful player. But like Mbappe, where Bellingham scored, that's where Mbappe technically should be because he's a 9. But no, Jude Bellingham knows his role where he's been playing Madrid for a few years, and someone always needs to be in the middle. There's no one ever in the middle for Real Madrid. Never a single player in the middle. Even in corners for Real, they just can't create nothing because they don't have anybody in set pieces and corners. There's no person that stays in the box. But um, but yeah, Vinny, I think he looked pretty solid. I think better than, for me, I think this is probably his best game this year. Um, Playing wise, he can score 2 goals against Villarreal or whoever, a goal and assist or whatever. But like ball wise, like playing the game fully wise, I think this is probably Vinny's best game. Mbappe and Vinny were quiet towards the first half. Juve was playing such a low block, and Madrid played terrible in a low block. They just do. They've always, in La Liga especially, a lot of La Liga teams play in a low block, and Madrid just sometimes just can't get around it. Something they can't make it out of something. So Vinny and Mbappe were quiet, but then towards the end of the first half and the second half, that's where they more exposure, more with the ball, creating more chances, and they looked great towards for me the end. Brahim Diaz, his rating is just 7.4. No, I think he's like an 8.1. An 8 point. He's just such an underrated player. For me, he just his dribbling, his playmaking, his just he can make a play out of nothing. I think he's just such an important player Madrid need, and for me, he was fantastic this match. Just unbelievable. He could have had 2 goals. He could have had an assist. Madrid should have had 4 or 5 goals, but that's how it is. Jude Bellingham for me was superb. Jude Bellingham for me was probably Madrid's like foundation. You need a player like Jude playing in the position where he is. Him and Goulet. Usually, who's gonna play in that 10 role, Arda or Bellingham? None. I mean, technically, Arda's playing the 10 role, but both of them as like holding, or I guess like central midfielder playing. They both wanted to, of course, playing more on the left side of the box. That's where usually both players are comfortable. But throughout the match, Goulet will drop back, win the ball. Always, I think it's like 3, 4 times I've seen him drop back and win the ball and get the play going. Bellingham just like creates plays, great dribbling, his passing. The passing in this team today for me were fantastic. They hardly missed any passes in the first half, and then the second half, of course, it got towards that up to the point where not every pass is gonna be perfect. But for me, I think Real were really well in the passes. Here is the show here. Total shots, big chances. I want to see like pass because I think they were accurate passes. 91, 561. Uh, but yeah, I think Madrid were really well at the passing, winning the balls, counter attacks. I think Madrid was just really good as a whole. About Carreras, him and Fede and the fullbacks today were for me great. Also, um, I want to see that every week. Carreras wins the ball back. Fede, just he can play anywhere. He's always known he can play 100% anywhere, and he can create chances. He can get the ball through. Amazing crossing, amazing through balls. Just such a player you need. Asensio is another player, bro. I think this whole Madrid team, I can say about anybody. I think he should have a higher rating than Militao. Asensio, like 3 big chances he saved, and him, and then Courtois, of course, in goal, who was superb. Um, but yeah, people are not gonna agree with me because they just see the score and they're like 1-0 tapping goal. Bellingham, Madrid are terrible. No, I watch every single Madrid game, every game. Um, last season, the year before that, this season, I watched every. I haven't missed a Madrid game, and last this is nowhere near last season's Madrid. This game here, and people are gonna think I'm crazy, but it's just true. Um, I think Madrid were superb this match. Of course, there's chances with Juve, and Juve do have a good squad. Of course, there's chances where Vlahovic, great save from Thibaut. Yildiz had a shot in. McKennie. Um, the reasons Madrid didn't have 5 was because of Gatti and Igor. Those two. But Gatti saved like 2, one off the line. Great defending. For me, Gatti was really good. Same with Igor, the goalkeeper. He saved shots after shots. I wonder if he broke his 10 that he had in the Club World Cup against Madrid. I want to see here. Did he have defense, duels, keeper saves? He had 8. He almost had there, but yeah, the keep. Kalulu, for me, he had a poor match. Juve as a whole, for me, played poor, obviously. But of course, they had chances to score. They have a good team. But Kalulu had so many chances down the right side, and he's a center back playing as a wing back. But man, he had so many chances to get it through the middle from getting into the final third. He just misses key passes. Yildiz got subbed out in the 70th minute. Cabasio, Thuram. For me, I always said it. I mean, you were playing a low block, but for me, if they get if Bremer's fit, Gatti played solid, but if they get another key center back, because Rugani and Lloyd Kelly are not going to be the Juve solution at all. They're not going to be the solution. So that's the thing. Subs, which was weird. Camavinga getting on, sure, great. Frank Garcia getting in for Vini. I might as well. I guess I don't know, but this was before Asensio got hurt, so he had Fran on the left wing, whatever. When they had and then had, Carreras, Asensio, Militao, Fede. Asensio gets hurt, and then puts on Gonzalo. And then of course you're gonna drop back Carreras as center back, Fran left back, Mbappe, Gonzalo, and then go on from there. Franco for Brahim. And because they took out Vinny in the 84th minute, put in Rodrygo. Really, you should have just put in Rodrygo. If you're gonna go for an attacking, of course you probably wanted, Xavi wanted more of a defensive attacker than Rodrygo, who's like of course an offensive attacker. But yeah, I might as well put Rodrygo. Madrid were like in the moment where they could have got another goal, and they put on Fran. I do like Fran, but I guess he wanted to go on more defensive attack route instead. And then that just ruined it with Asensio getting hurt, and then dropping back Fran and putting Carreras as center back. Um, Conceição is a player for Juve that, and for Portugal, like when he subs in, he's for me like a Brahim Diaz. Changes the impact of the game. Pacey, technical, great on the ball. Um, I was probably the most scared of him out of anybody in this team, um, because I just know what he's capable of. Openda could have had a shout. Um, John David got subbed in, but yeah, injuries list for Real. Just imagine if they're all fit. I think Madrid would just be incredible. But uh, that's pretty much the match there. Madrid's next match is of course El Clasico, uh, on a Sunday. For me, I think if the way Madrid play, I think they should go the same starting 11. I think Brahim, um, Pimple, Brahim, Mbappe, Vini, Arda, Bellingham, Chouameni, and then Fede, Carreras. Hopefully Asensio's fit. If not, they're probably going to drop back Chouameni and put in Camavinga, which I don't want to see because I think Madrid looked really good like this. Um, and just keep it out as Carreras, Fede, Asensio, and Militao. But yeah, really excited. But yeah, that's pretty much what Real Madrid was for today.